Hey, thanks for joining me for another jellyfish here on That's Not My God. And, I'm sitting under my tent here. That's something that I call my outdoor office. Now, I know it sounds posh and all, but it's really just a $30 canopy from Kmart out on the side lot of my lawn and within Wi-Fi range. What else does a person really need, right? There's a favorite scene in a movie that I like. Probably one of my favorites. My all-time favorite movie is The Blues Brothers. But I know, deep theological movie. But my second favorite is a movie called The Dead Poets Society. You're probably familiar with it with Robin Williams. He plays Professor Keating at a college Ivy League school there, private, and there's a scene where he's talking about getting a different perspective on life, and he's talking to his students about poetry and all these things. And what he does is he literally stands up on his desk and he looks around. Nothing new, but let's ask those students this question. When was the last time you stood on top of your desk in a classroom? It's interesting. It's like me at church. I deal with people all the time, and they're great people. And it's always funny when I invite someone up from within the church to tag team a message with me, and they get a different perspective of this little room that we meet in, and they're like, you see everybody, you see facial expressions and all sorts of things. I think it's important for us to get a different perspective once in a while. Recently, I took a group down from our church down to Pastor Bob Beeman's ministry in Nashville, where he ministers to homeless people under the Jefferson Street Bridge, called the Bridge Bunch. And, I guess anytime you go on a missions trip, you could get, and we do get people saying, well, there's those people around you all the time. Why do you need to go to Nashville? It's to get a different perspective. It's to get a different perspective on things. True, I don't think it's necessary to necessarily go every year on a missions trip, but if you do, hey, that's up to you. But nonetheless, what I do know is that the people that go and anybody that goes on a missions trip, they usually come home with a little bit of a different perspective. I'm in a town of 6,500 people. Within the whole county, it's only about 65,000 people. Not a big county by any standard, but a fair size nonetheless. I grew up in Milwaukee and moved from that city in 2004, and so coming here, it was quite a difference. But you start to notice different things in the community. You start noticing different people in the community, and ones that you may say, oh, okay, that's that group, but at the same time, you start thinking, these people have real needs. You see, where you and I live, we can get used to people pretty easily. We can get used to seeing people the same day. I can count on one hand how many of the guys ride bicycles around here that are either that's their mode of transportation, or they're transient and they're in and out of this city, and 1 year in 1 year out the other, and so they travel around. For me, I use my bicycle, and that's one of my main commuters. That and my motorcycle, of course, but I enjoy it. And by doing things like this, you get a different perspective on what your community is all about. We're starting a ministry in our city called the Rock Ministry, and we're going to be meeting with different people that just have needs. We want to supply those needs that food stamps won't meet. We have different businesses that are donating food left and right now, and almost too much to keep up. And we're going to be cooking these meals, giving them out to people, and all through this van that we purchased. It's a 99 Econoline, but it's going to be great. And the reason why we're doing it is to gain a new perspective on our area that we live in. It's not to look at people as a charity case. It's not to look at people as, oh, we're doing the work of God to those less fortunate. No, because a lot of us are really the ones that are less fortunate when you start ministering to other people. It's just the right thing to do. It was through gaining a different perspective. So here's my question. What desk do you have to stand on to gain a different perspective of where you live? For me, I need to stand on another desk. I need to look around a little more. I need to do these things and open my eyes up to the world around me. There's so many scripture that talk about ministering to the widows, to the less fortunate, to so many of these people, and they're people. All people matter to God. And so I guess my challenge to me, but I guess it's also to you, is how are you going to gain a fresh perspective? What are we going to do to look at our area differently and try to meet a few needs? There are a lot of people out there that are depending on you. There are a lot of people that are depending on me. Fact is, you and I are answers to prayer. We just need to be receptive and hear what the Holy Spirit's leading us to do and go for it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you tried it. You got to keep going. Shoot me your thoughts, vtwinrev@that'snotmygod.com, right here on YouTube, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.